Welcome to a special episode of Back Pass with Ras. We're revisiting Real Madrid's Galacticos. This is part two, and this is Ras here speaking to you. I was away the last time, had some issues to deal with. So the young blood, Joel Robert, very well. He did this job very well, seamlessly, flirting in the past and the present of Real Madrid. But of course, Joel is young blood, so he'll speak mostly about the new school football, about present day football. And I feel it's incomplete before, this episode is incomplete without talking about the Galacticos. Behind me right now on the background, you see the original Galacticos, the OGs, and the man that brought them together, Florentino Perez. So this is what we're going to speak about today. We're going to speak about the players. We're going to speak about the trophies they won. And before I introduce our guest, he was here last week as well. Let me share with you a backstory on how I got to know of him. Well, in this part of the world, Singapore, Malaysia, Southeast Asia, in fact, in general, I think you would see a lot of people wearing the Real Madrid jersey. Is probably the most popular jersey outside of the English teams, the most popular European football jersey outside the English Premier League teams. But to find a Real Madrid fan, a true fan that supports them truly, wakes up in the middle of the night, catches all their games, that kind of fan is really tough. It's like finding a needle in a haystack. And thanks to our connections, our friends at here in Backpass with Russ, I got to know of Del, and Delvinder is our Real Madrid specialist, a Real Madrid fan. Thank you for coming on the show again, Del.
Hey, thanks a lot. It's good to be back.
I hope you enjoyed the first episode with Joel.
Yeah, I did. I really did. It was
You really
very
did that.
interesting. Yeah.
All right. So
First
that's
first time doing podcast like this was fun.
yeah. It was also a bit tough convincing him to get on the show, but thankfully it worked out well for all of us. And testament to that is, of course, you appearing here again. We are without Antonio this week because he can't make it. But well, Antonio, I hope you're listening in, and I hope you have fun listening in to us. We'll catch up with you again soon. So, Del,
Mm.
speaking first about your history as a Real Madrid fan, how did you become a Real Madrid fan, and which year was that?
Actually, I can't really date back when exactly, but I know my first real memory of football was actually the 1999 Champions League final, Bayern Munich versus
Okay.
Manchester United. I remember because my brother is a big Bayern Munich fan.
Oh,
So we were
right.
watching the final together, and then pop in the 90th, Bayern controlling the whole game. I mean, they
Yeah,
had so many chances. Then pop,
yeah.
90th minute, 91st minute. So that was amazing. That's when I fell in love with football, and then slowly, 2000, I think, end of 1999, 2000, starting to watch football more. Then I saw this team, Real Madrid. I don't know. I just fell in love with them. So started around there, about 1999, 2000. So about 22 years already.
Okay, cool, man. Interesting that you did not become a Manchester United fan on the back of that final.
Yeah, shockingly, but I didn't.
Yeah, no soft spot for any English teams.
English teams, I used to like Arsenal in the early days, the Invincibles,
Yeah,
how they used to play football. I used to like them,
mm,
but Real Madrid all the way.
all the
English
way, right?
teams, neutral. Lah.
Okay, okay, cool. All right, that's your history. Now we're gonna speak about the players. So what I'm gonna do right now, this is a bit of a game. What
Hmm.
we're gonna do is I'm gonna name players. These are players I've like handpicked. I'm gonna name these players. These are supposedly the big signings in each transfer window. So we're gonna look at the period of 2000, the year 2000 to 2010.
Okay.
Supposed big names. You gotta tell me whether this are, in your opinion, a hit or a miss signing.
All right.
I'll give you my opinion as well. The first one we're gonna start with, in conjunction with what's gonna happen this Saturday, which is the Champions League final, Liverpool against Real Madrid. There are two players that played for both clubs. The first one being Steve McManaman.
Hmm. I
So
think McManaman definitely hit. I think he fit in seamlessly in that Real Madrid team. Actually, I think if I'm not wrong, he scored a goal in the final,
2000,
2-0-0.
yeah,
Yeah, 2000.
2000
Yeah, scored the
equivalence,
goal.
yeah.
So I think he was very good. I think it was on the right, then more of a centre mid,
Hmm.
but was a good signing definitely. One of the few Englishmen that made it in the Spanish game.
Yeah, yeah. I remember when he joined Real Madrid, initially, I know he struggled. And he was also like, in Liverpool at that time, he was one of the biggest names in that team, in
Yeah,
that Liverpool team. And then to go to Real Madrid, he became like a small fish in a big pond, that kind of thing. And then he became like a probably like a normal player and all. And he had to struggle and get into, adapt to Real Madrid style of play and the country and everything. And I think, yeah, I agree with you. I think he did well there. The next name, I would say, will be Nicholas Anelka.
mm. The great suck, the
Yeah.
incredible suck. um, I think Anelka was more of a miss, although I think he also scored crucial goals for Real Madrid,
Hmm.
but I don't think he ever really cemented his place in the team. Was in and out of the lineup all the time. Then never
Yeah.
really. Although he was coming from Arsenal, he also was quite big then at Arsenal. Was
Yeah.
up and coming also, but I don't think he really made his mark in Real Madrid. Although he did win the Champions League also.
Yeah. True. 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 Yeah. I got to agree with you on Nicholas Anelka. I didn't see the Nicholas Anelka of Arsenal in Real Madrid, but as you said, he did provide some crucial goals here and there. So the quality was always there. It's just consistency was probably lacking. And now the next name would be the biggest, or rather the guy who started the whole Galacticos thing, Luis Figo.
Oh, Luis Figo, I used to love him, man.
Yeah,
Definitely a hit. The way
definitely.
Florentino Perez brought him from Barcelona, was the captain at that time also.
Yeah, yeah,
Whoa.
yeah.
Then
Amazing.
I think the first game he returned to the camp now,
Yeah,
the
big hit.
hostility, the atmosphere, pig's head, beer bottles, everything got thrown at him. Wow. Wow. It was a hit because he's like you said, he started the whole Galacticos era, and then on the right was his place. He was just incredible. The step over, the feint, then always getting past the players, winning a few penalties here and there,
Yeah.
scoring free kicks, the assists, incredible goals. I remember the one he scored against Manchester United. Real Madrid won 3-1 Champions League
In Bernabeu.
in
Yeah,
Bernabeu. Yeah,
yeah,
the cross come shot, then it went in.
yeah. That was good. Yeah, yeah. I gotta agree with you on Luis Figo. Fantastic player. I really don't know how they managed to pull off this signing. Because as you said, coming from one of your biggest rivals, Barcelona, they
Captain
managed
as
to pull
well.
it off.
I remember.
Florentino Perez.
I think he said it also that I would never sign for Real Madrid the
Yeah,
season before. I don't know how Florentino Perez did it. He does it somehow. He does it, but I don't know how he did it that one.
yeah. That's true. Okay, next one is this is a player I would say could be an underrated player, Santiago Solari.
Oh yeah, I think Santiago Solari, like you say, underrated, did very well at Real Madrid. I think he used to play left mid, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, so yeah, he was a different kind of player to what they usually have. He wasn't really a Galactico, but was very technical, good
Yeah,
crossing, good passer, and he fit in well. Like he plugged the gap on the left hand side, so it
yeah.
allowed Zidane, I think, to move more centrally. So yeah, I think it was definitely a very good signing.
And he came from Atletico Madrid.
Mm.
Your
Even
neighbors.
even the great Raul Gonzalez was in
Yeah,
Atletico Madrid.
correct. That's true. Okay, next one, Zinedine Zidane.
Oh, initially didn't start off well, but eventually I think super hit. I think the way when they brought him in and the football he played, he got booed. He was one of the players that got booed at the Bernabeu. I remember this very clearly. And then everybody was like, Zinedine Zidane, what's happening? And then, bam, one day it just clicked and you started seeing the football as Zidane was capable. And that volley, 2002,
Yeah,
my God. Still one of the greatest Champions League final goals ever, I think.
yeah, true, true. And I think, what do you think about opinions that Zinedine Zidane actually played better at Juventus than Real Madrid?
I think the start, you could say that when he was starting at Real Madrid, I think Zidane didn't really. he didn't really show his true quality at the start.
Mm.
At Juventus, he was already the reason they bought him because he was already the superstar at Juventus.
Yeah.
And then suddenly, after a while, mid-season, after all the criticism, all the booing, suddenly Zidane decided to show up, and then you actually saw the real Zinedine Zidane culminated in that fantastic volley in the Champions League final. And then the next season, when Ronaldo came, they formed a wonderful partnership, and then you really started to see. I think one of his greatest performances, also underrated, the one at Old Trafford. I know Ronaldo got all the plaudits, but the way Zidane, Figo, they played football that game, fantastic.
Mm. Next one you've already mentioned, Ronaldo.
Mm. Oh my! Actually, is my all-time favorite player. I
Uh,
think trophies wise, didn't really win much, but overall footballing wise, the quality he brought to this Real Madrid team, he was just absolutely out of this world. And they were after the World Cup, I think he won. They
yeah.
bought him. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he came in he was not in the best of shapes, but still that he still had that burst of acceleration,
Mm.
and then his footwork, goal scoring, finishing, everything. It was a shame really that he didn't win the Champions League at all. One of
Yeah.
the greatest
Yeah.
shames, I
At all.
think.
Correct. For that, I think Ronaldo. I think he played for one of the teams that I support, Inter.
Oh, he
So
was fantastic at Inter. Oh my god.
yeah, he was great. And but unfortunately, he had like two major injuries while
Yeah,
he was playing at Inter, and he just got back from one injury. Inter that season 2001-02, lost the league on the last day of season. And Ronaldo
yeah.
was on the bench
He
crying.
cried, right? Yeah, I remember
Yeah,
that. I remember that image.
yeah. So we were like, I think Inter fans were all like thinking, okay, you know what? Never mind, we'll go again next season. We'll still have Ronaldo. He'll be fit. And then suddenly he joins Real Madrid. So that was a bit of a heartbreak.
I think he got the injury on the same knee, right? If I'm not wrong, twice on the same knee.
Yes, yes, correct.
I always tell people that if you never watch Ronaldo, oh my goodness, in his prime, I think
Yeah.
if he didn't have the injuries, he would have been the greatest of all time, no doubt.
Yeah. Even despite the injuries, I think he is one of the best players of all time.
Mm,
Brilliant, brilliant striker. They don't make strikers like that anymore.
exactly. It
And
still had
players
that.
like that as well, like these kind of players that have to rise through adversity, injuries after injuries, major injuries, and then still come back and show your quality. I think, you don't really get those kind of stories anymore nowadays.
True. And I think they got him for, if I'm not wrong, I think it was 36 million at that time. I know it was
Which,
a big amount that time, but
yeah,
36 million now, get a quality, that kind of quality.
now I think he's probably going to be in the hundreds of
Yeah,
millions. Now.
it would have
Crazy.
been. I think it would have. I always tell people it would have been the best,
Mm,
easily.
mm. Okay, the next player you've already spoken about him in the previous episode, so I'm not going to speak about him. We'll speak about him later when we discuss the trophies won.
Mm.
So I'm going to skip this player. The next one will be Michael Owen.
Michael Owen. Oh, I remember he came in with a big reputation from Liverpool.
Yeah.
I think he was more of a super sub for us. I remember.
Mm,
Couldn't get into the team because he had Raul and Ronaldo. But he did make an impact. I think he did. But I wouldn't say he was a hit. I think it was more of hit and miss. But he did have some good games. I remember he used to be our super sub. We used to go to him. I
mm.
think his best moment in the Madrid shirt he scored in the Clasico, the 4-2. A very good match that one. So,
Okay, the next one, Walter Samuel.
and that was one of the greatest tragedies. I think. I think he was expected. I thought he would come in and actually show up our defense, but I don't know. It just didn't work. Was a fantastic defender. Yeah, I think we got him from AS Roma, right?
Yeah, Roma.
Yeah, was fantastic. Came in with a great reputation. Watched him play in the Serie A. Fantastic defender.
Yeah,
I don't know what happened. Just didn't work out. But he did well when he went to Inter.
yeah, true,
Yeah,
true. Yeah, there are players like that, right? They do well in a club, they move to another club, they just don't can't gel, for
mm,
whatever reason. It's really perplexing, but it happens.
mm. I
Next
think
one, I'm
just
sure. Pardon?
Sorry. I think Real Madrid also defenders a bit difficult to make a name for themselves.
Yeah, because and also it might also be because you are just left to defend on yourself by
True.
yourself.
Yeah, especially that Galacticos team. Yeah,
Everyone's going forward, nobody's
true.
coming back.
Yeah.
So you're
They
on
never
your
really
own.
did. Their philosophy wasn't defending; is we outscore you. You score three, we score four.
Something like a basketball match.
Yeah.
This next player, I'm sure you will say it's a hit. Sergio Ramos.
Oh, definitely legend, captain, leader, legend. And
Mm,
actually signed him. Everybody's thinking, who is this guy? 2005, 19-year-old from Sevilla. I
Sevilla,
think they
yeah.
paid 30 million at that time, was a big amount also. Then initially started at right back, I
Right
think.
back, yeah.
Yeah, so initially slowly started playing right back, then started to cement his place. I think eventually replaced Michel Salgado,
Mm.
and then when they moved him to centre back, that's when you really saw his true quality. And I think, I mean, a lot of people don't like him. Let's be honest, a lot, especially those Liverpool fans, but they would love to have him in your team. He's just the kind of player that lifts the team, character, spirit, scores important 100 plus goals scored,
Yeah, lots of goals, yeah.
big game player, won everything. I think one of the greatest ever to play for Real Madrid.
But is he better as a right back or centre back?
I think centre back. Centre back, he changed his game. I think suited him because
Mm.
right back he initially did have the pace to go get up and down. I think started to realize that I'm better playing at the back. Use his abilities better as a centre back. Because right back, I remember there was one game. I don't know if you recall at the Bernabeu, Ronaldinho totally tore destroyed him on that
Oh,
wing.
uh, yes, yes. And okay, Sergio Ramos purely as a defender. What's your opinion on Sergio Ramos as a defender?
I think as a defender, you should. I think people should consider him in the. He should be in the same sentence as people like Maldini, Baresi, Beckenbauer. Maybe not not exactly better than them, but he should be in the conversation. I mean, he
Mm.
has everything. He had early on. He had speed. You're not going to get past him. You get past him, he's going to pull you down. He
Yeah,
doesn't mind
yeah,
taking the yellow, the red.
yeah. Correct.
He's going to put goal saving tackles. You're going to get 100% from him. He's going to put his body on the line. Just an all out action defender. He just he really embodied the spirit of Real Madrid. I
Mm.
was really really gutted that he left.
Yeah, so he's a defender. I think that would say ball man or both.
Was really, I think, one of the greatest signings ever Florentino Perez made, no doubt.
Okay, Robinho.
Mm, this one, the enigma, the Brazilian enigma. I think came in also. I think from Santos, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah,
Started off. I think it didn't start off fantastic, but then slowly, I think in 06, 07, started to show his quality. He did well. I think 2 seasons there, 2 or 3 seasons there, he did well. He formed a good partnership with Roberto Carlos, but he never really. I think he never really hit his full potential.
mm. Yeah. I do agree with you on that. I don't think he hit his full potential, and some people say he's a circus player.
Mm.
No,
I
a lot of
don't, I
tricks and
don't,
flicks.
I don't disagree with that. He did have that quality. He could have actually pushed himself to the next level, but Brazilians,
You get what you get
yeah.
with the Brazilians, right?
But he did well. He did well. But then he moved to Man City. I think the first season also Man City he did well, and
Yeah,
then after that he just, I don't know, went downward
yeah,
spiral.
yeah. I think, I don't know how far through this is, but he thought there was only one club in Manchester, and that was Manchester United. But then he ended up Manchester City.
I
So
think there was a funny story. I think he thought he was signing for Chelsea also. He thought it was Chelsea, but actually it was Man City.
yeah, so probably he like okay played one season and then he's like, what the hell am I doing here? So I'm just
But
packing in.
it was a quality player. He had his days, but like I said, never really hit his full potential. He didn't really push himself.
Okay, another defender now, Fabio Cannavaro.
Hmm. Came in World Cup winner, big reputation.
Yep.
I think he did well, but it wasn't the Cannavaro that we saw in Syria. Definitely
Yeah,
not. I think it was
agree.
already going down.
Past
He
his
had a
prime.
fantastic World Cup. Hands down, best player at the World Cup with Zidane. That World Cup 2006, I remember,
Yeah.
was fantastic. But then again, in this Real Madrid team, very hard to defend. He was alone most of the time. He and I think was, if I'm not wrong, was Helguera. Then slowly Pepe became his partner after that.
Hmm.
So not easy to defend that Madrid team, and he never really got to show his quality. But Cannavaro, all-time great defender.
Yeah, true. I felt that after winning the World Cup with Italy, Cannavaro was one of the players that I felt, okay, they reached the maximum, the maximum they can go at that time, and then that's it. From there, it's just downward spiral all the way.
True. He was a fantastic defender, no doubt about it. But at Real
Yeah.
Madrid, never really got going. Like you
Okay.
said, I think he hit his peak already, then just came down.
Yeah. Next one, Ruud van Nistelrooy.
Benny Stroy, I would say, was a hit. When
Yeah,
he
no
came
doubt.
in, I think we were lacking also. I think Raul was our only striker at that time, if I'm not wrong. I think Ronaldo was getting injured a lot also. So
Mm.
he came in, he fit in, scored the goals, won the top scorer. They won the La Liga that season. I remember what crazy season that was.
He
That
was
first
like
season.
a player that was, he lived up for the goals. He lived for the
True.
goals,
He
right?
did. He scored a lot of important goals, and he was at times when Raul wasn't performing. At that time, also, I think he was carrying the team by himself with all the goals. Then slowly they brought in Higuain, and then only the goals, the load they started to share. But he carried them, I think, for one season. I remember the one they won the La Liga
Mm.
under Fabio Capello.
Okay. Mamadou Diara.
Mm. Right. A lot of people don't know. I think they don't know these players. But I remember Mamadou Diara used to like him at Olympic Lyon. That Lyon team also was fantastic.
Yeah, it was a great
Diara,
team.
Essien. So he came in also. I think he did a quite good job to shore up that Madrid midfield. He won La Liga also. So, but I don't think he also one player that never really showed his full potential at Real.
Mm.
I mean, he was so good at Lyon. I used to love watching Lyon. I remember the games
Yeah, true.
they beat Bayern, they beat Barcelona, they beat Real Madrid
Real
countless
Madrid.
times.
Yeah, correct.
But then he came to Real Madrid, never really got to. He had few good games, I remember, especially one against Barcelona, if I'm not wrong. But he never really cemented. He never really showed his quality. I feel
Mm. I would say this was a player that was much sought after at that time when he was at
yeah, I
Lyon.
remember.
Him and Essien, a lot of teams were after his signing, and then of course Real Madrid, one of the biggest clubs in the world, who can resist them? He signed for them, and then yeah, as you said, never really fulfill his potential. Next player I think would fall in that same bracket, Aryan Robin.
Ooh, yeah, Aryan Robin, fantastic player again. I don't know why for some reason they leave Madrid, they become so much better. Also, he was good when he played for Madrid on the left wing. I remember he cut in standard Robin, cut in from the left, score
Yeah,
some beautiful goals he scored. And when he was fit, I remember he did well. I remember they won the La Liga back to back. They retained.
yeah,
Robin was in that team. So definitely I think I would say he was a hit for Madrid.
okay. Did he get a lot of injuries when he was at Real Madrid? Do you think that was the reason why we don't really remember? We remember Robin as a Chelsea player, as a Bayern Munich player, but
True.
I think Real Madrid
I
not
don't.
so much.
I think I don't recall him getting a lot of injuries, but I think it's because at that time I remember Madrid for 5 or 6 seasons couldn't get out of the knockout round, first knockout round.
Uh,
So they were never really in the conversation. So just La Liga here and there, Copa del Rey. Also, I don't think they won.
no, no.
So yeah, they. So he never really got to hear of Arjen Robben's masterful performances, but he
Mm,
did have some big games. I remember also against Barcelona one. I don't know if you recall, they beat them 4-1.
okay,
And one of the only times I think Barcelona gave Real Madrid a guard of honor. Never forget that. Never gonna happen again.
that's sweet, right?
Yeah, that is sweet.
Okay, next player is defender again, Hartman Pepe.
Oh, Pepe, definitely a hit. Underrated, I think, very underrated. Came in his first season, he shot up the defense. I think they never really saw in Madrid a player like Pepe willing to get dirty, just going for challenges. He had that nasty side to him.
Yeah.
but he was a fantastic defender. So timing of his tackles, he did used to do a lot of stupid things like you touch him, he goes to ground easily. He knew how to wind up players.
Yeah.
That was one of his
Wind up
wonderful
merchant.
attributes. Yeah, with wonderful attributes also. And then their crazy side. I remember, I don't know if you recall one time he just went mad on that Getafe player, kicked him, punched him. I don't know what got
Yeah,
into
that is
him.
something you would attribute Pepe to.
Yeah, then but his partnership with Sergio Ramos for so many years until Varane came, I think was fantastic. They formed a fantastic partnership.
That was a scary partnership to come up against. Huh?
Yeah, and I used to love the matches against like Atletico Madrid. You got Diego Costa on one side, you got Pepe
Oh,
and Ramos on the other side. Oh my god, the fight.
that's more wrestling than football then.
Yeah. But he
Okay.
was great. He was great. He was a fantastic addition.
Right. Another Dutchman, Wesley Snyder.
Wesley Snyder. I remember his first season definitely a hit. Came in. I remember I think Bern Schuster was the manager.
Hmm.
Came in his very first match, Derby. I think the first match of La Liga. You don't get that. Real Madrid Atletico. I think he scored in the 90th minute a free kick, the winning goal. And he scored a few. I think first 5 games, 5 goals, if I'm not wrong, if I
Wow.
recall correctly. He was one of the few players that shine. But then again, when he left Real Madrid, we saw a better Wesley Snyder at Inter
Yeah.
Milan.
Yeah, and also coincidentally, first game at Inter Milan for Snyder was the Milan derby.
Did he score?
No, he didn't score, but he did play very well.
I remember
I think he just signed about
Yeah.
like 2 days ago before the derby, and we didn't expect him to be in the starting lineup, but there he was and played from the start, and I think he played very very well.
Oh, that Inter team was scary.
Yeah,
That was a very good
that
Inter
was
team.
yeah, it was okay. More Dutchmen's coming your way. Rafael van der Vaart,
Van der Vaart, I also think he came with a very good
big reputation.
reputation. Yeah, he was. I think he also was sought after, if I'm not wrong. Quality player, but never really for me hit his true potential. Also, never hit the heights that was expected of him.
Yeah,
He did
I
well.
agree.
He did well, but I remember at one point had a lot of Dutch players in that team that
Yeah.
season. But then he never really got going. I think Schneider was the more impactful player between the
Mm.
two.
There was also a Dutch player called Royston Rente. Remember him?
Oh, definitely flop.
Oh man, I remember he
Although
came with
he
such a
also,
big reputation. He
yeah,
won
very
the
sought
under
after youngster.
21
Like
Euros.
everybody wanted him. Then I don't know
Yeah,
what happened. I don't know whether it was the lifestyle, the partying. I remember it was them. He was very quick. He was very fast pace. But then I don't know. Never really worked out.
yeah. What about Klaas Jan Huntelaar?
Klaas-Jan Huntelaar also. I remember he came from Ajax, right? If I'm not wrong.
He might have come from Ajax. I
I
believe so.
think he
Yes.
scored. I think he did score for us a few amount of goals, but I think it was more of like a super sub in the team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
he also never really got to show his quality. But then again, I think he's a good striker. He's a good striker, but again, a lot of players, I don't know, they just don't. They leave Real Madrid, they become better for some reason because they just don't get to show their true quality. I mean, the fans there, to
Could be
be
the
fair,
pressure, right?
yeah, very demanding. Sometimes I watch also as a Real Madrid fan, the booing is uncalled for nonsense. Really, they really have crazy fans.
Yeah, that's the thing about playing for Real Madrid. I notice as well. You either sink or swim when you join Real Madrid. There's no
True.
in between for you.
Mm,
So you even players with the biggest reputation have played maybe for other big clubs as well. But when they come to Real Madrid, you either sink or swim. There's no such thing as okay, I'll take my time to bed in and slowly I'll get better. There's no such thing. I think the fans are unforgiving down there.
true. Especially, I think that period, they really white handkerchiefs used to come out. Only recently they started really getting behind the team. But for a few many years, you could ask anyone, Real Madrid fans, probably call them all kinds of words, all kind of bad words, not nice words they have for them. And I will agree, a lot of them are. I wouldn't call them true fans because
Mm,
I mean, you should get behind the team whether winning or losing.
yeah.
You should always be behind the team. I mean, I supported them through the toughest of times, the worst times where they used to get hammered every other game.
Mm.
So
That's
they
true.
really,
That's
I
true.
think, I
That's
think a
the
lot
one.
of these players they The pressure got to them. The weight of the shirt.
Hmm. One last one, or rather two actually. Gonzalo Higuain.
Oh, Gonzalo Higuain, I think, was a hit. I think he came in. Nobody really knew of him coming from River Plate. Then he started off, didn't really score a lot of goals, but he gave that 100%. You were guaranteed to get that 100% from Higuain every time. He
Hmm.
was the kind of striker that wouldn't let you rest, chase
Hmm.
you down, and then slowly started his finishing started to improve, and then he became a key player. I remember at one point he was keeping Karim Benzema out of the team. I remember
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
was
I
between
remember
the two
that
of
too.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Zabi Alonso.
Zabi Alonso definitely a hit for me. A very major coup at that time. He
Hmm.
came in. That's what we needed for a very long time. After they let McAlely go, we never really had that midfield, that deep line playmaker kind of midfielder that could hold the midfield together. And Javi Alonso, what a buy! I don't know
Yeah.
why Benitez let him go, but
Your gain, right?
yeah, definitely gained. That was one of the better signings also, and started the period of dominance. I think that Real Madrid team when started to come up.
Hmm. And you've already spoken about Kaká, Cristiano Ronaldo. We know about them. Karim Benzema. I think nothing left to say. You've already spoken about him as well. Now I'm going to speak about three players that came through your youth ranks. Iker Casillas, the first player.
Oh, Iker Casillas, legend.
Son
I
Iker.
think at one point the best goalkeeper in the world, hands
Mhm.
down, was always between him and Buffon. I remember.
Yeah.
I think
You
he won
remember his
every.
debut?
Yeah, was it the Champions League final? He came on
It probably was. I remember when he
Leverkusen, right? The Champions League final. I remember Cesar got injured. He came on,
no,
made so many
no,
saves.
not Leverkusen, not Leverkusen. He played before that, in fact, 99 2000 against Manchester United at Old Trafford. I remember him playing in that match. He was, nobody have heard of him. We probably were thinking this guy is a, rookie keeper, young guy, but he had a fantastic game that time. I just recently rewatched the highlights of that match, and the number of saves he made in that match,
Was
some
it the
really
4-3?
big saves.
The 4-3, is it?
No, no, before that, 99 2000. You remember Fernando Redondo
Oh, okay, okay, yeah.
skill past
Mm.
Henningberg, and then Raul open goal. They were
Raul,
wearing black
okay.
jerseys. Oh yeah, even the 4-3 they were wearing black jerseys. But yeah, this was the
I,
one before that. Yeah,
I remember the Champions League game also. He came on, made a lot of saves. Left from I think Cesar got injured, then he came on. Young, still young. I think was he made three or four world class saves. Kept Leverkusen, and then after that, Zidane. Zidane happened.
yeah. We'll talk about that final later. Raul Gonzalez, your all-time favorite player, or you've already mentioned Ronaldo as your all-time favorite.
Raul Gonzalez. Actually, if you see my Facebook, is Dalvin Gonzalez.
Yes, that's
After
why.
after Raul Gonzalez, used to love him. I think what top three greatest Real Madrid strikers ever,
Mm,
in my opinion. Captain of the team for so long, won countless titles. His iconic celebration, kissing his ring.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think he
Correct.
was at his in his prime. I think easily one of the best strikers of all time. So
No doubts. Yeah.
yeah,
For me, my all-time favorite Spanish player, Raul Gonzalez.
I think mine will be tough between him and Sergio Ramos. Very very difficult to choose.
Mm,
But I did used to love him. He was fantastic player.
yeah, I agree. He was a fantastic striker. Next one, Guti. Underrated.
Underrated, definitely. A lot of
What a
people,
player
yeah,
was.
a lot of people don't know how good Guti actually is.
Yeah,
His
class,
passing,
class.
he was outstanding. I think.
His vision, his passing. There's once I think also quite recently I was watching this video on Guti and his assists. Oh, madness.
Remember the one against Deportivo, the back heel to
The
Benzema.
back heel, right? Oh,
Yeah, he made so many crazy assists. I think was a fantastic player. Underrated. A lot of people don't know about him because he never really featured for Spain. I think the
yeah,
Spanish national team.
yeah.
I think he should have got more opportunities. Was a great player.
And also at that time, Spain wasn't really doing as well as they did,
Yeah,
in the 2010s onwards, right? Yeah,
true.
so
Yeah,
they were underachieving team, and so most people maybe forgot how good Guti was. And like you
yeah,
say, he didn't get much opportunity playing for Spanish national team.
true. That's why a lot of people don't know how good Kuti was.
Yeah, true, true. Only the real OGs remember that.
Yeah.
Okay, Spanish players, other Spanish players. This one's not coming through your youth ranks. Fernando Hierro.
Oh, another legend. I
Yeah,
think one of the few goal scoring defenders out there.
yeah. But he
Cap-
started actually at center midfield. I remember before he played center back, he was playing center midfield like in the early 90s for Spain and all. He was playing center midfield. Then suddenly, as he aged, I think he went back towards playing
I,
center back.
I think I kind of remember the a few games also. I think he played for Madrid in the defensive midfield role. He was a free kick taker also. He used to
Yes,
score
free
a
kick
lot of
taker,
goals.
penalty taker.
Yeah, so I think he was one of the few big characters in that Real Madrid dressing room.
Yeah,
I
the captain.
think when the Galacticos all happened, I think there was a major falling out. And one of the few reasons for their downfall, they let Hierro go. After winning the league, they let Del Bosque go. They
Oh, that was
sold
that
they
was big.
sold Claude McClelly, one of the biggest mistakes ever.
Yeah,
Yeah, so definitely up there, one of the greatest Madrid defenders of all time. I
and his
think
partner at that time, Ivan Helguera.
underrated. I think I feel underrated. I feel that defense don't really get their due because of the way they used to play the attack, but they were good. I think they formed a good partnership.
Hmm.
Strong, good in the air. Maybe not so quick on the ground, but
Yeah,
they
not
did the
quick on the
job.
ground.
They did the job.
This guy is quick on the ground. He plays right back. You mentioned him before, Michel Salgado.
Oh, Michel Salgado. I remember they used to bomb the right and left together. Him and
Yeah,
Roberto
Roberto
Carlos.
Carlos. Yeah.
What a team that was. I mean, the football they used to play. I mean, they never really won a lot of trophies, the Galacticos. But the pure footballing wise, I think entertainment is the word.
Yeah,
You
I
knew you were
agree.
gonna get, you knew you're gonna get entertainment from them. You're gonna get crazy games, a lot of goals, and I think Michel Salgado I think he was known more for his attacking game, but was a very good defender as well.
Mm, yeah, because he could cover the ground. He's fast.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think he did a good job at right back. I think for very long nobody could they didn't sign anybody. They trusted him. I think for a good few seasons, and he made that right wing really his.
Mm. So from players now we move on to the trophies Real Madrid won. You've mentioned it a few times already. The 2001-2002 Champions League. First, the road to the final. Speak about that first. What do you remember of the road to final?
The road to the final, if I'm not wrong, they beat Barcelona in the semi-finals. If I'm not wrong,
Yes, yes.
I remember that
Do you
game.
remember who they beat in the quarterfinals?
I think it was it Bayern Munich.
Yes, that's right.
Mm.
Tough round, huh? So,
Yeah,
tough road to the final, beat Bayern Munich and Barcelona, two top teams to reach
yeah.
the final.
And we weren't doing well in the league. I think that season, losing a
Mhm.
lot of games. I
Yeah, it
think
wasn't
Zidane
vintage.
also wasn't really at that point. Haven't hasn't really wasn't really showing his true quality yet.
Mm.
And then suddenly in the Champions League, they turned it on, shockingly, and it's
You
become
rem-
a custom norm now in the Champions League. I don't know what about it. The music comes on. I don't know, something enters them. They're just
yeah,
special in
that
the
is true.
Champions
That
League.
is true. Yeah, even in recent seasons, I think there have been seasons, maybe 1, 2 seasons ago, where Real Madrid has not looked like the Real Madrid of old since they lost Cristiano Ronaldo. But whenever it comes to the Champions League, they might not be doing well in the La Liga, but once it comes to the Champions League, you never write them off.
True.
They
I
always
mean,
seem to do
I
well.
mean the three games I'll be the first to admit we weren't the better team in. I think in any of the games, I think only maybe the one in Stamford Bridge we were better than Chelsea.
Hmm.
But otherwise, look at all the other three games. We were not definitely not the better team. But just the self belief, the spirit. I don't know, something about Champions League nights at the Bernabeu. Never give up. That that grit, that attitude. Just amazing. That's why this season watching them, how many times my heart is beating so fast. Amazing.
Hopefully that serves you well on Saturday as well.
Hopefully, I mean, it's going to be a tough game.
Yeah.
Liverpool, easily one of the two best teams in the world. Definitely a better team than us. I will definitely say that.
Mm.
But like you said, never write us off.
Yeah,
Anything can
never.
happen in the final.
Yeah, true. It's always 50-50. So
Then
coming
go.
back to this final at Hampden Park, Glasgow, what do you remember of your opponents? Bayer Leverkusen, they were the
Oh,
shock
I
teams,
remember they
shock
had
team, right?
a very
Surprise
good,
team.
yeah, very good run to the final. I think they knocked Manchester United out, if I'm not wrong.
Yep.
They had a very good,
Liverpool as well. They knocked Liverpool out first and
yeah,
then Manchester United.
they had a very good bunch of players. Their core was Lucio, Michael Ballack,
Mm.
Bastard. I think they had
Stroke, yeah.
who was the striker? I can't remember
Yeah.
his name.
Oliver Newell.
Oliver Newville. Remember, he scored against Manu, right? The winning goal, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, actually, they beat United on away
Away
goals.
goals, right? Away goals, yeah.
Yeah, but he was one of the scorers. You are right.
Yeah. So I remember
Hans
nobody,
But as the
um,
goalkeeper. Yeah,
Hans Jobert, penalty taker.
yeah, penalty taker as well.
And then a very
Extraordinary.
tall defender. What was his name? I remember. Strong defender. Uh,
Ramelow.
Carsten Remelo. Yeah. So
Yeah,
see, the team was actually very strong. Nobody gave them a chance for how they made it to the final. They deserve finalists, and they actually
yeah.
played better than Madrid in the final. They
Uh-huh.
had much more chances. I remember so many chances. Like Casillas came in, saved Real many times. But
Who
then
scored the first goal?
I remember Raul. I remember Raul Gonzalez scored the first goal. Then I think Lucio equalized. Header.
And and the reason why we don't remember all this is why? Because of a certain Zidane goal.
Zidane, yeah.
Everyone remembers that final for that goal.
If you actually watch the match, Madrid were not the better team.
Yeah, I remember I didn't watch from the start, but halfway through I woke up and turned on the TV, watching the match, and then out of nowhere this Roberto Carlos cross, I think probably a bit overhit, and then Zidane just lashed that volley into the top corner. Amazing strike,
Yes.
brilliant. As you
Still,
said,
I think
one of the best
one of the best.
Champions League
Yeah,
final goals.
maybe Gareth Bale,
Yeah, that was also a good one.
but I think the quality of the volley on his weaker foot coming up from the so high in the sky,
The
so much.
cross wasn't right, right?
Yeah, it wasn't. I think he anyhow kicked it. Roberto Carlos just kicked and hope. Wasn't even a cross. I think.
Okay. And then after winning the Champions League, you guys won the Intercontinental Cup, beating Paraguay's Olympia 2-0.
I think that
And
was
then,
the
yeah,
first before the Club World Cup happened, right? I
yeah,
think was
yeah,
Intercontinental.
yep. And then you won the league that same
Mm.
season, the season after 2002-2003. Vicente Del
Ronaldo's.
Bosque.
Mm,
Tell
I
me about
remember.
him as manager.
Oh, I think fantastic manager. A real mistake when they let him go. Florentino Perez. One of his mistakes. His first stint as Madrid president. How can you let a manager go after he won you the league?
Yeah, he is a fantastic manager. I completely agree with you. He didn't look much, but it was what a fantastic manager
I
it was.
think that Madrid team he managed the egos very well. Very good
Mm,
man management.
yeah.
I think it's good. You need that kind of manager for that kind of team. So many egos in there, and I think won two Champions Leagues if I'm not wrong, 2000 and
Yes.
2002. Won the La
Yes. Yes.
Liga. I don't know. I don't think he won the Copa del Rey, but I think he lost in the final if I'm not wrong.
Mm,
But I think was a fantastic manager. I still think it's one of the Florentino Perez's biggest mistakes, and I think he regrets it that he let him go. Because after that, everyone who came in until Jose Mourinho came, everyone who came in didn't do well. I think besides Bernd
mm.
Schuster did well.
But
I don't know.
before, yeah, carry on, carry on.
I think I don't know what about Perez. Capello came in. I remember 2006 won the league. Set. I don't, I don't know.
That was what I'm going to ask you next about Fabio Capello. So before Schuster, there was Fabio Capello. What do you make about his management style?
I think it was different. He brought a different style to Real Madrid. The Italian solidarity. He made Real Madrid much better in defense. And I think that season I will never forget. Crazy season. I think the only time in La Liga has been decided on head to head. The
Yeah.
last day, so many twists and turns. Was like the Premier League title race this season. And then they came back, I think, a few times. A lot. They were losing so many times. I think against Sevilla, they came back. Against Zaragoza, they came back. Then, final day at the Bernabeu, 3-1. Reyes scoring twice. Mamadou Diara with a goal.
And that exactly is what I'm going to talk about also as well. That season I remember so many times, as you say, you talk about the comebacks. There's also games where you lost, and then you look like okay, you're not going to win the title, but then all of a sudden you go on a great run, and then you eventually won
Yeah.
the title.
I remember it was before I think before Christmas that period they have the break right in La Liga.
Yeah,
They were I think
we,
3 or 4 losses in a row, and then he didn't want to play David Beckham for some reason. And
that
then the
is
change
one.
happened when he brought Beckham in. I think
Yeah,
that is the only successful season of David Beckham.
yeah. That is why I'm going to speak about David Beckham because you said for you he was a flop. Well, of
Yeah,
course, he
for me.
didn't do as well as he did at Manchester United.
Mm,
There's no doubt about it. But I think that season where as you said, he didn't he didn't rate David Beckham at all. He didn't want to play him for whatever reason. And then suddenly, he puts Beckham on, and Beckham showed great character,
true.
right? The
That's what
the re- renaissance of
I will
Beckham.
never deny that about David Beckham. Fantastic professional. He really wasn't getting into the team, but every day came to training, showed up, showed his perseverance, showed Capello, give me a chance. And he actually turned, I think he was the turning point in that season when they brought him in.
Yeah,
Because he ran up and down. He had 2 lungs, I think. He had 4 lungs, I think. He just ran up and down non-stop. He was giving everything. He really showed great character. And then to come back from not playing and actually being a key player in the title winning team, I think was fantastic. So for me, why I say he was a flop, because of the first few seasons. I think he was there for 4 seasons, and then
mm,
he never really got going. I mean, we saw great assists, great crossing, great free kick goals, David Beckham. But then I think because he came in at a time when they had Luis Figo on the right also, and then Figo was pushed out. I think they put him more centrally. I didn't like it. He went to Inter Milan, also did well at Inter Milan.
yeah, correct.
So
In his final
I
years,
think
yeah,
yeah, I think that's the one of the downfalls of the Galacticos. Actually, that season when Beckham came in, they were doing very well. I think it was Carlos Queiroz was the manager.
mm,
They were leading in the league. They were in the Champions League semi-finals, Copa del Rey final. Lost all. They lost all.
yeah. So that is also true about David Beckham. He got a bit naughty as well in Madrid. Remember, he had an affair.
Yeah.
he didn't have that at United, but of course, he got steamy in Madrid.
I think it's the lifestyle of nightlife. A lot of people they come Madrid, the glamour of the club. Then a lot of people talk about nightlife. Then Brazilians, Robinho,
Yeah,
think he loved the nightlife too much. Our Ronaldo,
Ronaldo.
what
Yeah,
a
Of
fantastic player
course.
about you. We all know he loves the nightlife. He loves his food, his junk food.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
stories about him partying until I recently read this. I think somewhere. I think Roberto Carlos was saying, he used to party until 6 in the morning. Then he'll come to training drunk.
Yeah, yeah. I read that about Christian Vieri was also speaking about it. He and Ronaldo used to party at Inter, and they would turn up to training drunk from the night out, and they still
Crazy.
perform. That is
Yeah,
the beauty of these players.
talent, just pure
Talent.
talent.
Yeah, this just God gift. You can't do anything about it.
So
God
David
gifted talent.
Beckham, yeah, for me that is the only reason I would say he was a flop because of those initial years. But I think eventually he did redeem himself. The last season, he managed to leave at least with one league title because
On
he
a
didn't win
high as
anything.
well. Huh?
Didn't win anything while he was there.
Yeah,
I remember they went trophyless for 3 or 4 seasons. Then that was the league title that he won, and then he left.
yeah. So he left on a high,
And he did
and
well. He
then
did well.
yeah, and then the season after, as you say, Capello got sacked. Bernd Schuster came in.
Mm.
His style, I'm sure, would have been very different to Capello's.
Correct, was different style. I think he brought in. That's when the influx of Dutch players came in. Snyder, Robin. Then they played a different style, totally different style to Capello. They played more attacking, more direct. That's when I think we first started to see the counter attacking Real Madrid
Hmm.
because they had pace Robin on one wing. Then I think there are a few youngsters also. I think they just bought Higuain also. Then I think they
Van
brought
Nistelrooy as well, right? At that time,
Van
still
Nistelrooy was
playing.
the striker. Yeah. I think Ronaldo was still there, but was getting injured already a lot.
Hmm.
So they managed to win the. I think did they win the league? I think they won the league. If
They
I'm not
won the
wrong.
league, yes,
Yeah.
2 seasons in a row.
I think one of the few times they retained it.
Yeah, and also because I think these two leagues that they won was significant as well because it punctuated that period of Barcelona dominance under Frank
Yeah,
Rijkaard.
Frank Rijkaard. Yeah, that a lot of people talk about Pep Guardiola's Barcelona. But Frank Rijkaard's Barcelona was also very strong.
Was insane, yeah, with
Yeah,
Ronaldinho and Deco,
Ronaldinho.
Eto. You had
And
Eto as well. Remember one point of time.
yeah, I remember it was Madrid. I think played one game only.
Yeah, you had another guy called Esteban Cambiaso. So if
Oh,
you had lost Makalele, you could have used Cambiaso, but you didn't.
another mistake. Yeah, another fantastic play. Look at him at Inter Milan.
Yeah, again. He came for free. Unbelievable.
Yeah, I remember one of his greatest games. I remember they played Barcelona.
Hmm.
Him, Zanetti, the job they did on Lionel Messi. My
Yeah,
goodness, art
yeah,
of defending.
yeah.
They showed the world
Mourinho.
how you take Messi out of the game completely.
That's Mourinho's masterclass.
He was another fantastic. I think the turning point for this Real Madrid team after
Hmm.
many years.
Okay, so before we end the show, I'm going to speak a bit on current football. What is your opinion on the whole Super League thing?
I think it's a like most footballing fans, it's a real I think it's a mistake. It's the way they brought about the Super League. I don't think was the right way. They said, "Oh, we're gonna form a league of all the top teams in the world. Then we're gonna get this." It was all about money. To be fair,
Hmm.
I mean, I get it from a financial standpoint because pandemic and all, but it wasn't the right way to go. Made a lot of enemies. The whole footballing world hates you. I mean,
And you're
but
still
then
in it.
the fans stepped up. The fans really stepped up. Everybody stepped up. All started pulling out. I mean, these three are still there, right?
Yeah,
Madrid, Juventus, and Barcelona.
Barcelona. Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with our president. I mean, still looking at it at an economical standpoint, I guess, but I don't think it's going to happen. I mean,
yeah,
you the Champions League. I mean, you don't get along with UEFA, but look at what your team is doing in the Champions League every time. So I don't see the point of having the Super League.
Hmm. Okay. Before we end, we got something fun to play. You got your first 11, Real Madrid first 11 from the year 2000 to 2010. So what you got? Tell us.
Okay. Okay, I'll play a 4-4-2 diamond. So I'll have Casillas in goal,
No doubt, right?
Salgado on the right,
Okay.
and Roberto Carlos on the left.
Mm-hmm.
My center two is gonna be Fernando Hierro and Sergio Ramos.
Okay.
And then my holding mid is definitely gonna be Makalele.
Mm.
Right wing Luis Figo.
Okay.
Left wing, I'm gonna choose Cristiano Ronaldo. Although he came in 2009, only one season, but definitely I'm not gonna leave him out. And then at the tip of the diamond, I'm gonna put Zidane.
Okay.
And up front, Ronaldo and Raul.
Ronaldo and Raul. Okay. Cool. Who are you gonna play that against? Your Europe 11.
Ooh. My Europe 11 is gonna be same formation.
Okay.
Buffon in goal.
Okay.
Right back is gonna be Cafu.
Mm-hmm.
My left back is gonna be Maldini.
Mm.
Center all Italian Alessandro Nesta and Fabio Cannavaro. I mean,
Cannavaro.
I used to love watching the art of defending. Just watch Nesta, Cannavaro, Maldini.
Yeah.
They just knew how to defend.
Correct. True.
Then
True.
holding the midfield, I'm gonna put Perlo.
Another Italian player. Yeah.
Then right, I'm gonna play Seedorf.
Mm-hmm.
Left, Ronaldinho.
Okay.
And at the tip of the diamond, I'm gonna put Kaká.
Okay. Milan's Kaka.
Milan's Kaká.
Okay.
And then at the in attack, Thierry Henry and
Uh-huh.
Andrei Shevchenko.
Andrei Shevchenko. Okay. Cool. Quite a Serie A heavy team.
Yeah, because I used
You,
to. I mean, at that point, Syria up there, man.
yeah. The
They were.
best league.
I think was the best league.
True. True.
Look at the Milan team. Look at the Inter team. Look at the Juventus. I mean, they were so tough to beat.
True. 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 Juventus beat Real Madrid as well in the
Yeah,
2000-2003, right?
yeah.
Yeah, there was one great semi-final to watch.
I remember. Yeah, we won the first leg 2-1,
First
but
leg.
then we went to Turin. We got destroyed.
Yeah. Oh, that was one great game. Yep, I agree. I remember that. So yes, with that we conclude this part two. A lot of good memories for yourself, I hope, Del.
Yeah, I had a good time.
Yeah, right. I remember reminiscing. Remember all those players. Remember all those teams as well. I remember that one game. I got to speak about this. Real Madrid versus Manchester United at Santiago Bernabeu, 3-1 to Real Madrid.
Mm.
That was one game where Real Madrid completely outplayed Manchester United. And that, I mean, at that time, Manchester United, one of the best teams in the world.
Yeah, they were there,
They
but
were one of
that
the best teams. And to completely outplay them, whoa. I remember reading the day after in the newspaper, they described Real Madrid, likened them to Harlem Globetrotters.
I
I
think
don't,
I
I
think
don't know who they were, but then I know they were some. They surely will be something superb, splendid team, and they were, fantastic Real Madrid team at their best. That is the definition of the Galacticos coming together at their best. That's what they're capable of.
even the I think the 4-3 they lost also. I think they put on a fantastic game. Although
Yeah,
they conceded four, but you just watch the passing, the movement. I mean, Barcelona's tiki taka. I think they did it before Barcelona,
yeah.
and they're not given enough credit for that. I think
I think they had a bit of a different style because in for Barcelona, it's all about pass,
holding
keep
possession, yeah,
possession,
side to
yeah,
side, yeah.
side to side, holding possession, tiring you out, and then finding the gap, and then they put the ball through, and then you had a player like Messi. You gave him he could like dribble past two, three players. Whereas for Real Madrid, what it was just quick passes, get straight to the point. Not much dilly dallying, and then you had all these lethal finishers. Got players with great quality. You
Mm.
can score from anywhere. So that I felt was the difference. It's not really tiki taka. It's a different style of football.
It was a good time to be a Madrid fan. Remember, I
It
mean,
was right.
we didn't win as much as we should have. I mean, that team should have, but then they were entertainment. Just like this season, what Real Madrid are doing, absolutely crazy. Don't not supposed to be there, but somehow they are there.
And I think in those days as well, I remember early 2000s when Real Madrid start hoarding all these top players. Every season, you're going to go out there and sign someone for big money. I think a lot of people were like, and those who do not support Real Madrid, of course, these guys will be jealous, will be unhappy. Wow, Real Madrid is getting all these players. They're signing all the stars. All the stars are playing for their team. It's a bit unfair. But then eventually, they didn't actually win much, right? They
Yeah,
didn't
they didn't.
dominate.
No.
Yeah, but as a fan, I'm sure you enjoyed watching them.
Oh, I enjoy, still do.
Yeah,
Although they might not play the best of footballs, but I still, I mean, you're gonna guaranteed gonna get entertainment with them.
true. And I can relate to that as well because, as I mentioned, I'm an Inter fan, and Inter also had that period of signing all these big players. They had their own Galacticos, and you had Ronaldo, Vieri, you had Baggio, you had Zamorano, and all these players. The list like goes on and on. And Inter at that time also still memorable to me, even though they didn't win anything, but still memorable because entertainment. It was
The
really, really
football,
entertaining to watch.
I remember that watching Serie A at that time. That Inter team was so competitive. Serie A, I remember.
Yeah, it was. I mean, this season was competitive as well, but
Yeah, it came
the
down to the wire.
competitiveness in those years is different because it was of a higher quality, and
True.
you had like two, three teams, not just maybe one or two. You have more than two teams that were capable of winning.
Well, finally, so nice to see now that slowly Inter coming up, AC back in it. It's not
Yeah,
gonna be Juventus all the way now. They're not gonna
yeah,
have
yeah,
it all their way.
yeah,
Napoli, Roma also.
yeah. True. All everyone's coming up, so I mean, there's good thing for Italian football, but in terms of quality, still not there.
I think
Yeah.
will take a while eventually, but eventually they will come up. I think.
Hmm. All right. Thanks for speaking to us, Del. Thanks for taking the time out to speak to us. Two episodes. Uh, I can only be grateful to you. I was just hoping to get you for one episode, and I got you for two. Is just my luck, I say.
Thanks. Really enjoyed being here. It was fun,
All right.
and hope to definitely do more in the future.
Yeah, sure. We will. We have plans to call you in for our live show, so look out for that call.
All
Hopefully, it
right.
works out well with your schedule as well.
Yeah, no problem, anytime. Just give me a text, no problem.
All right. Cheers. As me, Ras, signing out. Back pass with Ras. The end of the Real Madrid Galacticos episode. Ciao.
Bye.
Bye.